So this is Jack Sheffield, Jack the exam guy. One of the exams that I specialize in helping people pass is the plumbing exam. The plumbing exam is, in my opinion, the hardest exam to pass. You'll have people that, when you go to take this exam, you'll have people in line that have taken it 5, 6, 7 times and can't seem to get by it. So it is one of the hardest exams, but I've had really good luck with making sure people pass the first time. I have worked very closely with people who have taken the exam, that are taking the exam, and have a real good idea of the type of isometrics that you're going to see on the exam and the rules and how to draw them. So many people think that they need an in-person isometric course, and in-person isometric courses work well. And I've taught in-person isometric courses, but they do have their down sides because many times you'll have a wide variety of talent in there. You'll have people that have never drawn an isometric before, and you've got to really take them from, ground zero. And then other people are pretty good at it. And because it's sort of like teaching a math class, you got some people that are pretty good at math, some people that are not very good at math, and trying to accommodate everybody is a little bit more difficult. But the reason I want to show you this video is because this is how I operate my isometrics course. So in my isometrics course, I've got videos which show you what the basics are, okay, what the rules are with isometrics and how you're supposed to draw isometrics. And then I give you sample isometrics for you to draw yourself. And then when you do the drawings, you email them to me, and then I will grade them and send them back to you. And this way, you're still doing the isometrics basically on your schedule, where you want. You don't have to, where you want, when you want. You don't have to, travel and go to a class or something like that. And you'll do the drawings. You email them to me, and then I'll grade them. And so that's what this is here today. This is an isometric drawing that a student of mine, Wayne, has sent, and we're going to grade his drawing today and show him, how he can make this thing a little bit better. And usually, what I'll do is I'll have the isometric drawing that is from my course, and then this will be, of course, what he has drawn and emailed to me this morning. And I try to get back right away. By the way, I know time is of the essence in these things, and that's what I do. Is I pretty much just sit at my desk and work on content, work on my school, and then so I'm here whenever you send me an email. I should be sending you the results right away. So um, so here we go. We got this drawing here, this plan view, and Wayne has sent in this drawing, and I see that he's done a lot of things that are correct. One thing that I noticed that is correct that is sometimes um, hard for people to get their head around is that right here you have a circle with a line next to it. Okay, whenever you have a circle with a line next to it, that means elevation change. So what happens is right here, this is where the elevation change is for the wall clean out. And so what a lot of people would be tempted to do is just come this way for this line right here, and then just keep coming this way and then go up and then out for your wall clean out. But actually, because of the fact that it shows your elevation change here, this is where you want to do your elevation change. So he has come up, and then and he's got a little direction of flow here, and then he goes south right here, and then back to the west. Okay, and then this is where the wall clean out is. So that's kind of how it needs to be. Now, it's a little bit fuzzy here. It'd be nice if it was a little bit sweeter. It'd be nice if the lines didn't cross. I'm not going to say it's wrong, but if he'd come up a little bit higher, he might have been able to avoid, crossing these lines. But you get the idea of what's going on here. As we move up, we see the floor water closet. So he's got his direction of flow. Remember, whenever two pipes come together, there's direction of flow. So we have direction of flow here, here, and then you can also really, are supposed to have a direction of flow here. So there should be like a little bit of direction of flow when you go from the vertical here to the horizontal on the floor water closet. So you've got your floor water closet and you got your floor water closet here and your urinal. Now here, this is kind of a hard thing to draw sometimes because you're going to have your direction of flow for your floor water closet, and then you got to come down and do also your direction of flow with your urinal and what have you. So, it could be a little clearer what's going on right here. Okay, and then we move on to our floor drains. Okay, he's got his direction of flow right here, which is good. And what I like about this floor drain is you see this little tail piece, you can call it a stub out, call it whatever you want. But remember, on a floor drain, you've got to come up out of the floor with that little piece right there. If you pour concrete without that, you won't be able to find your floor drain. Okay. Now here's another thing that I really like right here. A lot of people don't kind of pick up on what's going on here. When you see these lines going north and south here, and then of course they go east and west here. But when they're going north and south, everything is going back. You see the direction of flow. This direction of flow tells you that everything is going back to here, and it's a single riser. Okay, so there's only a single riser for all four of these lavatories. Now, this might not be the way you do it in real life, but you know what? You got to do it the way they show you on the drawing. So what he's got here is he's got his direction of flow, and he's got goes up, more direction of flow, one riser, and then this is where his north and south is, and then the east and west. So he's got all four lavatories that are being served by this one riser here. Okay, so that's good. And then of course you got your direction of flow here, and then you've got your building drain is going to the east. All right, remember north, south, east, and west. All right. Now, what could he have done to make this thing a little bit sweeter? It gets a little bunched up right here. You see on this floor cleanup, he didn't have to come all the way over here. And now we've got this situation where you got a lot of stuff kind of being bunched up. Could have stopped right here, and that probably would have been a little clearer, and wouldn't have had the venting running in and what running into each other right here. By the way, he also does say typical RV. I probably would want you to write that out. Revent typical, and then an arrow right there, because it looks like it's coming up on the right, on the vertical part of the venting. So on that vertical part of the venting, this is probably where I would put the arrow for the revent on that little piece of vertical that comes there. And you can tell it's a little bit hard to see what's going on. So he could have done a kind of a sweeter job to clarify everything. If he redid this drawing, he could really make this thing sweet, to where there's not any lines running into each other and that type of thing. But overall, you can tell what's going on here, and I'm sure he would have gotten some points on this isometric if this is the way it looked on the actual exam. The venting, okay, once again, we're venting here. The only thing that's not getting a vent, and they usually put a circle where there's going to be a vent. So he's got his vent here, he's got his vent here, here, and here, but no vent on the floor drain. And of course, everything gets tied back here and goes to the roof. So overall, there would definitely be, I'm sure there would be some points given for this drawing, but it could be a little sweeter. You could tighten this thing up a little bit and really make it sweet. And if they, once this draw, the person doing the grading, once if they looked at it and it really looked a little sweeter, then they would just, probably sign off on it and possibly give you all the points necessary. This is a drawing that I would certainly want to know how to do. There could very possibly be one very close to this. Main things on some of the main things, once again, this is where your elevation change is, so make sure that, you draw it the way you want it there. And then the single riser for the four labs. All right. Well, I just wanted everybody to kind of understand how I grade the isometrics if you are in the course, and how a non-in-person course would work on the isometrics part. This has been Jack Sheffield, Jack the Exam Guy. JackTheExamGuy.com is my website. feel free to call me anytime. 904-755-4111. Email me, jacktheexamguy@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening. And Wayne, thank you very much for allowing me to do this drawing and post it on my channel so that I could show people how this works.